Welcome to MT. Hope you enjoy the video.
Margaret and I started visiting presidential libraries. I love history and I love leadership. I've now been to every presidential library and studied it. I just constantly immerse myself in leadership events. I've already talked to you about filing. I file every day leadership thoughts, quotes. If I pulled out my iPhone right now, I could give you 36 quotes that I've picked up in the last 2 or 3 days that I filed. And I just keep them in there and I just keep reading them. I keep working and I just keep reading them until I've got them, until they're mine. Study leading. I do hope. I do hope I'm lighting a fire for you, because I'm telling you, your leadership lid will determine how high you're going to go in this business, and I'm going to promise you, you can't increase your leadership without studying leadership. So every day I lead myself. Every day I add value to others. Every day I study leadership. Are you with me? Number 4, every day I practice leadership. I practice leadership. Every day. I not only study leadership, but I practice leadership. I shared with you about my organization, Equip, the largest leadership training organization in the world. You say, John, how did you, and by the way, we did that in 16 years. How did you develop the largest leadership training organization in the world? It's very simple. When we train leaders, we go in for 2 days and we have a leadership workbook and we take them through the leadership principles. And then at the end of the 2 days, we give them 10 workbooks. And we said, we'll be back in 6 months for the next session. In the 6 months we're gone, you take 10 people and you train them what we trained you to. And they can't come back for their second training until they validate that they trained 10. You see, a long time ago, I learned I'm not about to train somebody how to lead that isn't going to practice leadership. You see, I'm telling you, you can waste a lot of time with people who like to have meetings, but their biggest accomplishment is lighting the fire and doing a little kumbaya. The whole idea of not only knowing how to lead, but practicing your leadership. Malcolm Gladwell, who's a wonderful friend of mine, read some great books, Tipping Point, etc. Malcolm is the first guy to say that if you want to be highly successful in doing something, you have to do it at least 10,000 times. He gives examples, the Beatles, all these groups that made it big, when people say, oh my, they just made it big, they've just done it. Practice. When Malcolm said that, I said, I wonder how many times I've spoken. So I went back and had my people do research, and I've spoken over 12,000 times. So people say, John, you walk out on stage, you take your water, you stick a cough drop in your mouth, sit on a chair and say, my name is John, I'm your friend. You don't look nervous. It's like you're having a conversation with us. Well, I'm having a conversation. Absolutely, and I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I've done this 12,000.
I started over at 34.
Wow, and VaynerMedia, what year was that? That must have been 2009, 2010?
That's right. I was born in 75.
Wow. You're about a year older than me.
You know, and so, you know, this goes back to excuses and accountability. Sometimes I meet people that are like, yeah, but your dad handed you something. I'm like, that's what you've manipulated my story into. Let me tell you the truth.
Interesting. That, firstly, so much respect for you. I did not know that part of your story.
Well, I'll tell you why you don't know it. Let me tell you why. Let me take it even further.
Yeah.
You know why you don't know it? Because I didn't want to I thought when I started getting notoriety that I didn't want to tell that story because I thought that it didn't shed good light on my dad.
Right.
I thought that some people would take it as like my dad fucked me.
Right.
Because I'm an immigrant and I know that our framework is different than the masses.
Yeah, you were born in Belarus.
That's right. So I didn't want to, I love my parents, right? And then it became a detriment because you can imagine after you do that, to live a life where people try to throw an excuse at you that the reason you were successful is you were given something when I was part of the very small 0.0001% that gave to my parents. Fuck you.
Right. Oh my God. That's a beautiful aspect of your story. Yeah, a lot of people don't know you were born in Belarus. If you Google Gary, you'll see American Belarusian entrepreneur. My ex-wife was from Belarus, so
I know the culture.
Belarus. By the way, with everything happening in Belarus, do you feel a connection to that?
I do, but my parents fear me being too loud about it because the Soviet Union scared families, scared people.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Gary, the next thing I want to ask you is, as you spoke about age and our perspective age, one of the things I realized that I'm biased about is TikTok. You've been raving about TikTok. My 6-year-old daughter came up to me a week ago and she said, Daddy, you need to be on TikTok. And I have an 11-year-old friend who can teach you. And so in my mind, TikTok is like for kids. You are 45 and you are crushing it on TikTok. Tell us about that. Why is TikTok relevant?
It's relevant because every platform that ever becomes a big platform often starts young and then ages up. don't forget, everybody, there's not a 17-year-old on earth, a 20-year-old on earth that wants a Facebook account, and it used to be the most important place 10 years ago. Right. So for me, when something emerges and has that scale of attention, I'm always going to go look at it, because I'm a strategist for not only myself, but for everything I do in business. I might start a candy company or a sneaker company, so I need to know what's going on TikTok. 2, I need to know how to use it, so I always put myself, in that environment. 3, what's happened on TikTok is what's going on TikTok, which is, it is now dominant for 20, 30, and 40-year-olds at scale across the globe.
The longer you live, even though you're in the potter's hand, the vessel that he made of clay was marred in the hand of the potter. God of mercy. Don't leave me out there by myself. Damaged people make some noise. Damaged people make some noise. Damaged people make some noise. My ministry has always been to hurting people. They said I wouldn't have anybody if I went after hurting people. And I've been preaching 43 years and I haven't run out of people yet. Damaged people make some noise. Damaged. The damaged in the process. The vessel that he made of clay, he made it, was marred in the hand of the potter. And all of a sudden, this word sow leaps into the text. The sow is a response to the dilemma of what happened. Look at somebody or type on screen, something happened to me. Something happened to me. Something happened to me. You should have met me before something happened to me. I wish you'd have known me before something happened to me. What you're seeing is what's left after something happened to me. Something happened to me. Can I be real with you? Something happened to me. I used to laugh louder. I used to be more fun. I used to be more jovial. I used to be more trusting. I used to be more expressive, but something happened to me. And now Jeremiah watches the potter who has gone through all the investment of lifting the clay out from the soil, extracting all the debris that was in it, of shaping it and wetting it and putting it on the wheel and spinning it and molding it and making it. And now something has happened to it. And so, the so is a suspended phrase that demands a verdict. It is a moment where the jury has gone out and the trial has been suspended, waiting on a verdict. The evidence has been entered into the court docket that proves that the vessel is guilty of being marred. There is no question to the authenticity of the depth of the scar, but we are waiting for the jury to come back in to determine the outcome of the trial, because there is no dispute as to the authenticity of the occurrence. It is a suspended moment. The so has got the whole text in jeopardy. It's got the whole moment held. It has put us all on pause. The so is the same thing that in music would be an augmented chord. An augmented chord, give me an augmented chord. An augmented chord is a suspended chord. There you go. There you go. That's an augmented chord. When a singer hears the augmented chord, that is a suspended moment. It means the introduction has been played, and the augmented chord means that something is about to happen. Play it again.
Wayne is gifted. You probably gifted, probably just as gifted as Wayne. But what do Wayne do more than anybody else? I bet you he outwork everybody. You get tight right now because you probably think, he don't outwork. Yeah, you can tell because he shows up. He might not outwork, he might not outwork it, but maybe he got away with people more. Maybe he just a people person. See, all these is gift. Your gift make room. You got to identify your God-given gift. If you don't identify your gift, you're going to waste your time. Telling jokes is my gift. It's what I do. I don't even know y'all. Let me tell y'all something. I could, listen, if I want to, I could turn this into a comedy show. I'm probably everybody in here be throwing up. If I want to. I'm retired from stand-up. But do you understand who I am? Y'all must have forgot. I'm one of the original kings of comedy. I was a bad boy. It's my gift. So even as a motivational speaker, I use my gift. Nothing's more boring than sitting by the top for 45 and you ain't laughed 45 minutes. You ever snap your head back and you ain't know where you was? You ever been in church? Now, how did I get to October 8th? Let me tell you how I got 1968.
Thank you for watching our video. Check out our other motivational videos that will help you turn your life in positive direction.